Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast, where we discuss all things empowering, encouraging and inspiring. My name is Yvonne Ellis. I'm an empowerment speaker, author, coach, trainer and founder of Yumi Empowerment, a company that facilitates the empowerment of people. I help people to make positive life change, live in their purpose and develop into their best version of self. I share stories, interviews, spiritual encouragement and actionable tips to empower, encourage and inspire you to live the life you want. So if you want to live the empowered life, join me each week on my podcast so we can take the journey together. Hello Empowered Lifers, welcome to episode 28 of Living the Empowered Life podcast. Hope you are all doing well today. At the time of recording this podcast, it is Friday the 10th of December and we nearly are at the end of the year. Wow, how did we get here? Oh my gosh, it seems like, this year has been up and down. But, on looking back over this year for me, it's been quite a productive and progressive year, even in spite of the challenges. And I wonder how your year has gone. I hope it has been somewhat productive and progressive for you too. In the next episode, the wrap up for this year, wrap up for 2021, I'll be going over the highs, the lows, the challenges, everything that I've learned from 2021. So do listen out for that episode. And if you haven't turned on your notifications, please do so on Apple iTunes, Spotify or Stitcher. I don't know if it's a follow button or a subscribe button, but whatever the button is, please don't forget to hit it because in doing so, you will be notified of my bi-weekly episodes. So in other news, as you know, my book Into the Unknown was released on November the 24th and the response to my book has been absolutely amazing. I have been really pleased with the comments I've got about my book and the support that I've got from people. It's really been really touching for me. I have already had feedback on my book. People have found it to be really encouraging and inspiring. And, they said they're going to further follow this up with leaving, a review on Amazon and in other places. So, I'm really excited to see how this book has just been received by people. I've got some book launch things coming up after the Christmas and other stuff as well. So I'm really excited about taking my new book on this journey because, as I mentioned in the last episode, it's different to my first two books. And you know what? I've already started working on my fourth book. You can't stop me when it comes to writing. I absolutely love writing and I've got so many different books that I want to write. But even though I've already started putting together the material for my fourth book, I'm really just wanting to enjoy the moment with my third book, so I'm not in a hurry to kind of bypass my achievement in doing this book. I'm going to, bask in the moment, because it's something worth celebrating. So if you haven't got my book is available direct from me at the Yumi Empowerment store. Yumi Empowerment is my company. Also, it's available on Amazon and it will be available in Waterstones and other places too in the new year. But I will let you know more about that. And as mentioned, I will leave the links to where you can get my book in the show notes below. So in today's episode, it's a little bit more of a serious one compared to last week. Last week was all about celebrating my book and talking about, all the exciting things that make up my book Into the Unknown. But this week I need to have a serious talk with those of you who may be experiencing this, as it is the second to last podcast of the year of 2021. I just really wanted to talk about this because, in the next episode, it's really going to be a wrap up and the last podcast of the year. But my question to you or to those of you who may be experiencing this is, have you allowed life to get the better of you? I want you to take a moment to think about this because it's really easy just to go through life rolling with the punches, doing things that you don't want to do and not really thinking about how it is affecting you. And I really wanted to do this episode because I have seen so many people, especially women, allow their life to get the better of them. Their relationships, their job, people just grinding them into the ground, life just grinding them into the ground. It's really upsetting to see people trapped in their own life. Hope gone, resigned to accept whatever comes their way, feeling like no options or choices are available to them. Is that you? Have you allowed life to get the better of you? And you know what? I understand. It's a painful place to be in. How do I know? Because I've been there myself. In the past, I allowed life to get the better of me. I allowed my financial situation to get the better of me, circumstances, people. But you know what was even worse on top of that? I was even beating up myself about these things. Because when I saw life was getting the better of me, I gave myself a hard time. Rather than looking at the things that I could change. Saying things like, I'm useless. Why can't you just do so and so? It was mentally debilitating. And it was like I was in a double whammy situation. Beaten by life on the outside and feeling defeated without hope on the inside. It was a desire to break free that became stronger over time, that helped me to want to go after the life that I desired to live. It was that thing that superseded those feelings of not trying and giving in most of the time. And to be honest with you, I couldn't have done it without the strength of the living God. So what is it in your life that you have allowed to get the better of you? Is it a culmination of things? Or is it one thing that has served as an open door to a series of things that has made you feel defeated, that has kind of contributed to your lack of vision, that has depleted your motivation? Instead, you do just enough to get by, just enough to get through the day, doing things that mean nothing to you. Basically, not stewarding your own life. Think about, how did it get to that point for you? Have a heart-to-heart with yourself and be honest. Sometimes it can just be neglect. Sometimes it can just be being comfortable. And you know how life getting the better of you manifests itself? I'm going to share with you some signs. Emotional eating. Some people have allowed life to just beat them so bad that they take it out on eating. They become overweight. They want to stop, but they can't stop. They emotionally eat to cover the feelings that they feel about themselves or how they feel about their life. They eat not because they're hungry, but because it seems to fill some type of void for a little while. Binge eating is again another way how it manifests itself. Eating till you're overfull, feeling lethargic, lacking energy, not having the strength to do the things that you want to do, but you have strength to do the things you don't want to do because, well, it's just enough to get by. But anything outside of that requires you to have a different type of strength to go after what you want, you don't have it. Lack of self-control and discipline, like what I just mentioned in overeating. It could be in spending. It could be in anything that you are not in control of or that you can master yourself in. Low self-esteem and confidence is another sign of how life has got the better of you. You've not applied yourself to anything that has required you to build your confidence or up your self-esteem. And that really does feed into those feelings of low self-esteem and confidence. Lack of drive. Again, that can all be tied in with that lethargic feeling, that feeling of having no strength, no enthusiasm to do new things, to change your situation. Negativity has its roots in all these things I've shared with you on this list as well. Negative outlook about life, negative outlook about yourself, negative outlook about people. Negativity is one of those things that just spreads. Not looking forward to the day because the day is not yours. Everything you do within that day is not things you want to do. So why would you look forward to the day? It's easy to see why. And another sign that life has got the better of you is depression. I've been there. I struggled with depression on and off for 20 years. I understand how it feels when life has got the better of you and feeling that you are stuck and you can't move. and you can't get forward in anything. You see, until you realize and understand that you have choices in your own life and that you have the power to change it, set boundaries and define it, you will continue to let life get the better of you. You will continue to stay trapped or upset. You have to take back control. It will mean making changes. It will mean stepping out of your comfort zone. It may involve upsetting people around you who for far too long have been taking liberties with you and been used to it, and been used to you being a certain way. They won't like the changes. Trust me, I have been there. I've experienced all these things I'm telling you about. Trust me, in the best way, I am brutal when it comes to people who want me to live up to their standards or operate to their standards, or those who want to invade my boundaries. And you know what? It's been a long time, many years since I've had to be like that, because I've clearly set the intentions for how I'm going to live my life. Because I decided many years ago I'm not going to let life get the better of me, or people, or finances, or circumstances. I'm very firm with what I will and will not allow in my life. And you know what? I didn't start out that way. It took years of practice, dealing with past issues, building my self-esteem and confidence through new experiences and facing and overcoming difficulties. I can't promise you that these situations or any situation that you've allowed to get the better of you. I say allowed because no one has forced you to stay or put up with or allow the things you have. I can't promise you that these situations will not upset you, make you uncomfortable, or not require you to make a sacrifice. But you have the choice to continue to let life get the better of you or to make changes. I want you to ask yourself the question, do you believe this is what you deserve? Do you believe allowing life to get the better of you is what you deserve? Do you desire change? Are you willing to do what it takes to make the change? This is something I've talked about time and time again, as I've mentioned, even recently on another episode of the podcast. You have to want it. You have to desire change. You have to do it if you want to get back control of your life. So here are some solutions. Here are some things to help you to not let life get the better of you anymore. Really, it starts with the small things. Appreciate the good in yourself. That's the first thing. I want you to start appreciating the good things about yourself, your traits, your skills, your strengths, your personality. I want you to take the time, if you have a notebook, to start writing these things down, because sometimes they can be so easy to forget, especially when you've overlooked yourself in your life for so long. Think about the things that used to bring you joy, or the things you've always wanted to do, and then start to do them. It doesn't have to be big, great, amazing things. It can just be simple things. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because whatever the thing is that you are going to start to do is going to be the thing that you can have authority over in your own life. It's going to be the thing that is not connected to decisions outside of your control. It's going to be something that you totally have control in doing. It's the thing that you are going to start to have personal victory in. So I want you to write these things down. If you don't have a notepad or a journal, get one. This is something I continuously say. You need to have something where you can look back and reflect on things that you've done, things that have been very difficult for you that you've overcome, things that you can celebrate your achievements in. It's really important to write things down, or to have something where you can visualize. Helps you to go back and remind yourself when things get really tough. I didn't really want to share a lot of things for you to do this week. I just wanted to give you a couple of things to get yourself moving out of this rut that you find yourself in. And these are things personal to you, things that you see about yourself. Finding one thing where you can start to have authority back in your life in. And because this is something I'm really personally interested in, I would like you to email me at info@yimmyempowerment.com. I will leave the email address in the show notes. I want you to email me and tell me what you are going to do to go forward in taking back control of your life. I'm not asking you to put this personal information on a public platform, but what I'm saying to you is if you want to, you can email me. I appreciate this is personal, so this is why I'm offering this private option. And obviously, when you share these things with me by email, it will be kept confidential. And the Bible scripture I want to share with you this week comes from Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12, New International Version. It says, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life." When you lose hope about life, it can affect everything. That's what it means when it says hope deferred makes the heart sick. No enthusiasm, inspiration, or motivation leads to anxiety, leads to not feeling any hope, leads to depression, and leads to you giving in to everything around you. If that is you today, I want to encourage you to reconnect with something that you used to do or want to do that will bring you joy. This is what God wants for you as well. He doesn't want you to feel like there is no hope in life when He has given you a life to live. If you can pray and ask God for help, He will show you purpose. He will bring Himself into your heart and life, but only if you invite Him in. I want you to connect with that thing that will put a smile on your face that maybe you forgot a long time ago. You see, this is where you can start to win the battle back to reclaim your life by doing things you can take control and ownership of. And that is it for this episode. I hope that you have found it encouraging to you. I hope that it has motivated you to take back control of your life, to not allow life to get the better of you anymore. And as I said, you can follow me on Instagram and all my links to my empowerment coaching. If you really want help and support to get back in control of your life, please do check out my empowerment coaching page. Also, there'll be links to the courage course to give you an action plan to go after your goals and dreams. All the links will be down there in the show notes. And I will see you on the next episode. Take care.